for something to maybe change, just maybe 4 or 5 each. Let's go Min first. You said, so something stomach ache came to me. So something stomach ache. You could say simply, so I got a stomach ache, or so I had a stomach ache. If you wanted to imply that it was not a normal type, you would say some type of stomach ache or something like that. You said nobody cannot speak English in the airport. That is what we call double negative, right? Nobody cannot, no, nobody can. You said I missed my airplane. Usually we don't say my airplane because the airplane is not yours. Usually I missed my flight. And you talked about social security. I think you meant to say like social benefits. When we say social security, we are really talking about the retirement package. Social security is what you get after you're 65 years old. I think it's 65. And then last one, do you remember that happening of Korean airline? That happening, I would just say what happened with. What happened with Korean Air? What happened instead of that happening? We don't really use the word happening. Yeah. Faith, at the beginning you said, I'm very healthy, talking about this. I would have said I'm very careful. Healthy is talking about not getting sick, eating good food. If you don't have accident, right, maybe I'm very careful, right? Another word you could use, I'm not accident prone. Accident prone means you get in lots of accidents and stuff like that. I'm not accident prone, P-R-O-N-E. You said I will go to the international conference. Or no, you said I will join the international conference. We don't really use the word join. I would just say go to. And you said the international conference, but I would have been more specific. What kind of conference? You just said conference, so I was kind of curious. What is it? More specific. You said should be paid free. Just should be free, or should not pay. One or the other. Should not pay or should be free. You said the more important is government does not support blah blah blah. The more important thing, or the most important thing, or fact. The more important fact. The more important thing. And last one, most people should bear their own education. Instead of bear, I would just say pay. Or if you want to use the word bear, you have to say bear the cost of. To bear the cost of. Easier, you could just say pay. GA. Yep, GA. You said when I was a high school student. You need to say the word when I was a high school student. But usually, instead of when I was a high school student, we just say when I was in high school is usually more common. You said in your story, I fell down some minutes. I was very confused. Did you mean seconds? Minutes?
If it's a minute,
more than 60 seconds?
Really?
Continue. 1, 2, 3.
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes?
1 minute, 2 minutes.
If it's 1 minute, you fell?
Yeah,
1 minute? From the sky?
Yeah.
There are a lot of stairs.
Stairs.
Even so, if you fell for 1 minute, then means it's like from sky.
60초? 60 seconds? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe you felt like, yeah.
You are falling and
Yeah.
falling
Yeah.
and falling and falling
Yeah.
and falling and falling and
Yeah,
falling
I-
and falling and falling and falling. 10 and falling and falling and falling and falling. 15 and falling and falling and falling.
Like
20.
it's long.
Disaster.
Okay, I believe you. But even then, I fell down some minutes. I would say for over a minute or for a couple minutes. A couple minutes, for at least a couple minutes. You said his background is not good to study at college. When you use just the word background, it sounds like career-wise, right? His background is in marketing. His background is in blah, blah, blah. Say his educational background was not good enough to study at college, or just his education. his educational background. If you just use the word background, it just sounds more like career-wise or something like that. And you said, I'm going to go in the UK. I'm going to go to
Yeah.
the UK, and would be changed. This is a common mistake. Would be changed. Just would change. We don't say be change it. And you said change it, change it. It's changed, and even we don't use that. Would be changed. Just it would change. Ted, my tongue almost cut. My tongue was almost cut in half. My friend whose height is almost 196 centimeters tall. My friend who is 196, or is almost. He jumped later than me. You said give an offer really early. If you say early, you need, almost always you need a time frame. Early in the pitch, early in the conference, early in the meeting. Sometimes when you just say, you can't say just early, I usually get up early, meaning in the day. So sometimes you can use the word early, but if in a situation like that, usually when you say early, you need to give it some type of frame. Early compared to what, or early in what time frame. So I would just say give the offer really quickly. It's easier. Or use early in the pitch, early in the show, something like that. And she made the big amount of money, just a lot of money. So you said the one thing interesting is, switch it. The one interesting thing is. If you miss your dog or cat, I think instead of miss, you want to say lose. Miss just means, oh, I want to see. You said, I heard that this trend in university. You need to say, I heard that this is a trend, or I heard about this trend. I heard about this trend. I heard that this is a trend. And last one, you said another problem to them, another problem for them. So those are some corrections. Any questions? No questions?